Okay, so super welcome everybody. Today is March 9th. So yesterday was International Women's Day. Because of that, congratulations, Rebecca. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations, Thais, everybody else, right? And all the women in your family. We have the power. Yay! We are hardworking, we are determined, we are super strong, and we make things happen. We can do it, right? Congratulations, Rebecca. All right, so this is March, finally, right? Finally, March has begun, and we are doing almost halfway through, actually, even though it's the beginning of the month, but it's so fast that we almost don't feel it, right? So let me share the screen and we can see what we are up to today. Okay, let me see again, just a moment. Wow, seems to have a problem. Let me see what's going on. Why we have a problem here. Let me try to understand what's going on. What's the matter? Let me see. What have I done here? I'm just trying to share the screen. Let me see what happened. No, no. Everything seems to be on. Yeah. Where? The app is having a problem. Yeah, it seems to be having a problem because it never happened. I never saw this, really. So, mhm. Let me see the back. I will try to leave the meeting and come back. Let's see what happens, okay? I will close the meeting and I will try to come back again. Great.
Okay.
So, all right, now apparently it's working. So let's see. Good. Yay. Okay, Rebecca, can you see the screen? Yes?
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. So here we are. We have our page on Google Classroom with the topic for today. Hey, Manu, how nice. So today, guys, we are talking about the final part of Unit 2. So we are finishing, we are closing Unit 2. And this is really good. We are moving after that to Unit 3 next week. So that's a nice achievement, okay? That means we are moving on. And this unit is very nice. Hi, Manu. Good afternoon. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. I'm happy to see you. All right, people. So let's take a look at our book so we can see the topics from Unit 2. What have we been learning since the beginning of the unit? Let's take a look there. Okay, this is the lesson for today, the final part, okay? But look at what we've been talking about. I'd like to go from the beginning, okay, to show you. Unit 2, guys, is all about time. And this is something so precious nowadays, isn't it? Time is extremely valuable. We can't waste time anymore. Yes, we have to have a break every now and then, but we need to manage our time well. We need to be productive, we need to be smart. So this unit talks about time. This is wide angle 3, unit 2, okay? So right in the beginning, we talked about changing times. So all the things that have been going on through the years, right? So they go back in time a little bit. They talked about the beginning of the 20th century, the transformations, right? They mentioned some cities here. I think they talk about Detroit on this page. So they discuss about the changes that Detroit has gone through, especially in the 20th century. And something similar happened to a lot of other cities that were super successful back then, okay? So we will see what happened to Detroit, and we will see some vocabulary. Actually, we saw some vocabulary about changes in big cities. Like, for example, abandon, benefit, decrease, growth, recover, replace, reverse, okay? Very important words that describe changes, all right? After that, moving on, we saw the simple past of the verb to be. We discussed about it. This is like a review, okay? So we know that. Let me zoom out so you can see the whole page, okay? So we discussed. And then when we saw unit 2.2, we saw, is time playing tricks on us? So what's going on with time, right? What has happened actually? So in this lesson here, we saw the difference between the simple past and the past continuous, right? And we saw when to use each one. We discussed the situation here about our perception of time. And here in this lesson, they talked about how our perception of time changes depending on how we feel. If we are very nervous, for example, we have a different way. We can't wait when we are anxious and we are waiting for something to happen. So anxiety and also fear plays an important part. Okay, so we saw that when we read this text here about perception of time and how it varies. After that, we talked about déjà vu, and we saw that déjà vu is that feeling of a situation we believe we have lived already. It's like a repetition of something. We have that feeling, I've been here before. I remember I know this place. And in reality, you have never been there. But your mind registers that image in a way to make you feel that you've been there before. Okay, so it's a kind of illusion. Here, they give an explanation on déjà vu. Okay, and déjà vu, by the way, is a French expression that means I have seen. Okay, so it's very interesting because it has to do with memory. Then we saw phrases with time. So there are a lot of phrases in English with the word time. Okay, here we have some of them. Like, for example, over time, through time, these are the prepositions with time, okay? In time, on time, adjective plus time, the first time, next time, last time, a short time, long time, this time, that time, and so many others. And finally, we saw some verbs with time. Have time. This is something we all want. We want to have time, don't we? Oh, I wish I had more time to do everything I need to do. I really wish. And I really wish I had more time to sleep as well. Me too, right? So, yeah, we all need to have time. Spend time. This is something we do as well. We spend time doing different things, right? Waste time. This is not good. That's not good time management. We don't um, use our management well when we waste time. Make time, it's when we create time to do the necessary things. We make time. Run out of time is when we get depleted of time. We don't have time anymore. So we run out of time. This is also something bad, especially when we have a deadline at school. We have to deliver an assignment and we have like one day to finish and it's already 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. and we go and we have like 60 or 70% to do and we think, oh, this is too hard. I'm running out of time and I haven't finished. What am I going to do? I need to deliver this tomorrow. The deadline, the name of this word, deadline, says it all, right? The deadline is tomorrow. So it's really bad, right? So when we have to meet deadlines, we need to be really organized, okay? So we saw all that. Phrases with time. After that, we talked about uncovering the past. So we discussed about mysteries, interesting discoveries, things that have been discovered and they have been sealed or hidden for many years. And maybe recently or not so recent, but some time ago, they were discovered, they were unveiled. And we learned about many things when we discovered those things. Here they gave us some examples. The first picture, the terracotta warriors. Imagine a lot of statues They were like this in a perfect or near perfect state, hidden underground for many years. Imagine, just like that. And now, because of an accident, because I think some soldiers, they found, I'm not so sure who actually found them, but it was like in the field. They were digging something and they found there was something hard on the ground and they saw a statue. What is this? So actually, it was like a kind of tunnel underground, and they found dozens of statues. Yeah, it was like, who made those statues? Who was the artist? Where was this thing? So it was in China, actually, right? They found these sculptures in China, and they have a meaning, right? The story of the terracotta warriors is really worth reading. So if you have a chance, try to Google it. It's very interesting to know who made the statues and the purpose of all this work. Okay. The next one here is Stonehenge. This we all know. This one is in England, right? It was supposed to be like a temple, a place of worship. Okay. It's also another mystery that we are still studying about. We are still trying to understand how they created such a monument with big rocks like this in this formation in a circle. And they managed to put, I think, two rocks on top of the others here. And they are very big, very heavy. And that was like thousands of years ago. How? This monument here, guys, is not small. It's very big, really big. If you see here, look, this is a car. There is a small car here. So you can see this. Yeah, it is really big. This is huge. Okay, guys, the stones are very big. They are as tall as a building. Okay, so how can they put all these rocks like this, one next to the other, and two rocks like this? So many years ago, and in a place where there is nothing around, there are no rocks, nothing like this. So we understand that the rocks were brought to this place. They were transferred to this place somehow. Okay, so there is one single rock here, and here we have a group of rocks in a circle formation, and they have a meaning, of course, but this is this is a secret. This is a mystery of Stonehenge. There are so many different interpretations that, it's worth studying about it, and it's also worth visiting. Okay, it's a nice place. The other one is the Nazca lines. Here it says the Nazca lines here. Okay, this one is in Peru. Yes, here in South America. So check this out, people. Yeah, it seems to be a bird, a big bird. And guys, the size of this drawing is huge. This is a field, and it's much bigger than a soccer field. Much bigger. It's really, really big. It's kilometers. And you can only see the bird from from the top, from the sky. You can't see the bird if you were here, for example. Okay? So, who made this bird? So, there is also a story behind it, right? There are many theories trying to explain the origin of these lines on this field. And there have been many others, of course. I don't know if you have heard a movie called Crop Circles, where random circles have appeared, or they have found crop circles in many different places in the world, especially in England. Not so much here in America, but mostly there in Europe, in England. Let me show you some of them. They're very interesting, mind you. So let me show you here. Yeah, go ahead. Take a look. Look at the crop circles. Look at the drawings. They are so perfect. Look. Check this out. Yes, the crop circles, they are like mostly, of course, on plantations, right? Open fields like these, right? Check out this one. Look at this one. Okay, so some circles are fake and some are real. Of course, guys, this one is fake, right, as they show here. But some circles are real. Okay, so they have been proved real. Because it's difficult to create such a thing. It's really hard. Okay, it's amazing. There are so many, so many. And there is a, oh, check this out. But even when man trying to create crop circles, they're not as perfect as the ones that appear in places like these, like, for example, England, and they are not as perfect like this one here, for example. This is really amazing. Really amazing. So this is what this lesson is about. This one specifically is about the Nazca lines. Okay, guys. So it talks about this crop phenomenon in Peru. And the last one is this one here. It looks more like a construction site, but no, actually this one here is the Gobali Temple. The Gobekli Temple. It's not so famous, but it's also very valuable because it has a lot of history behind. Okay, guys. So it's interesting to study more about this, the Gobekli Temple. Okay. So in this lesson, this is what we saw, just for you to review how important it is to uncover the past, right? It's interesting. After that, guys, we saw used to talk about the past. When we talk about past habits or regular actions in the past, repeated actions in the past, we use used to. Moving on, here we saw about some mysteries that were found in the ocean, right? And here they give an example, okay? The Yonaguni Monument off the coast of Yonaguni, Japan. So here they talk a bit about it. Okay. This is page 23. And on this page, we saw time expressions. So there are some time expressions that help us talk about the past. Talk about the past. Okay. And then on the video lesson, we saw how to apologize when we are late. So we saw the situation with Andy, right? And how he apologized to his friends, okay? So this lesson was all about saying sorry, all right? So some expressions to apologize and how to apologize. And finally, today, a time to remember. So what are we going to talk about? How we can describe the time when we were younger, our childhood memories, all right? So, okay, girls, let me just take a picture. I wish William were here. I think he would like this lesson. So let's take a look at this picture, guys. What do you see in this picture? What do you think they are doing? Family going to the beach. But look, are they going to the beach to sunbathe? Yes or no? Look at their clothes. Are they ready to stay out in the sun like people do here in Brazil? I don't think so, right? They're wearing long-sleeved clothes. Look, jeans and stuff. So they are not going to the beach to bask in the sun, right? That's not the purpose. What do you think they're going to do? Or play a little on the sand, or maybe have a picnic. Maybe. Yes, some people have picnics in parks, but also on the beach. Why not, right? Depending on the place, it's not so hot. Probably here, it's not as hot as in Rio, okay? Because I believe nobody in Rio would have a picnic on the beach. Because it's really hot. Yeah, it's extremely hot here. But there, it's possible. Okay? So here, they want us to describe the picture. Yes, we have. Who they are, we already have as well. And where and what's happening. Okay. Now, what did you used to do with your family as a child? Do you remember?
We used to go to beach houses.
Oh, so nice.
It was
Oh,
really, really good memories going there.
oh, how nice. That's so good. Yeah, me too. When I was young, my family used to go to the beach houses as well.
It's so good. It's
Yeah, it's so good, really. I love it. Yeah, I miss those times. So, what about you girls? What did you used to do with your family as a child? Rebecca, Manu, do you remember? And whoever is watching the video, try to remember the good old days. You can start your answer by saying, I used to da 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 with my family. Okay? So you can say like this, I used to travel with my family. Yeah, this is true. In my case, we used to travel a lot together. We used to go to the United States together. Oh, it was so good. Oh, yes. Yeah, it was awesome. I remember my 15th birthday. I went to California, Los Angeles. Yes, with my family. It was so nice. So nice. It was amazing. So, because my father, he worked. Oh, so cute. Oh, my father, he worked for this airline company. So he had cheap tickets. So it was able for us to go. Yeah. Yeah. So we didn't have to pay so much to travel. All we have to do is save some money to spend there. Food and hotel. But the tickets was okay. So we used to go a lot. It was very nice. Man, I traveled a lot with my parents. They took me there all the time. So this is really good. I miss those days. I really do. So here we are going to see, I'm going to show you before we see the activity, I'm going to show you a video of a girl talking about what she used to do when she was a child. Okay? So let's try to watch this if the internet is okay. So let's take a look here. It's very interesting. I will mute the microphone so you don't have an echo, okay?
Hello, my name is Florencia, and these are my childhood memories. When I was a child, I used to love swimming. We used to have a very small swimming pool, and it used to be my favorite place in the world during summer. I used to go to a park a lot. I used to swing and slide. With my family, we used to go camping every summer holiday. Sometimes we would go to the beach, and sometimes we'll go to a hot spring park. I used to sunbathe and play on the beach a lot. My favorite toy was a giant banana in pajama. This used to be my favorite TV show too. I used to have lots of toys. I used to play with dolls. I used to play alone and with friends, but it was always more fun when I played with friends. I used to play with my sister too, although I used to tease her a lot. During Christmas, my aunt used to dress as Santa Claus. I always used to receive a lot of presents. I used to go to school number 40. I used to be part of every performance in every school party. I used to love dancing. My favorite teacher was Marcela, my third grade teacher. I used to steal my father's thermos and mate and pretend to drink. I only pretended to drink because I didn't used to like mate. I used to ride my bike a lot. I didn't used to have very big birthday parties, but I used to be so happy with just a few friends and my family. In my birthday parties, there always used to be clowns. My grandma used to bake my birthday cakes. I used to love having a piñata in my birthday parties. My childhood was very happy. I wouldn't change anything.
Wow. Oh my God, it's really nice, isn't it? It's so nice to remember, isn't it, guys? When you can remember your childhood, it's really, really good. Um, I really miss my childhood and I miss my father because he's not here anymore. He passed away, but it's so nice. So it's thank you. Thank you. But it's nice to remember, isn't it? Actually, it's nice to reminisce, right? It's a verb in English we use when we remember the days when we were, younger. We reminisce. When we remember the past, the good old days, right? So, it's beautiful, isn't it, girls? Yes? Rebecca, Manu, everybody else. It's so nice. So listen to Sally tell her friend Anna a story about her childhood. And we are going to answer some questions. Okay? Let's see here. First, let's see the questions before we listen. Okay? It's always good to see before. Let's take a look. The first one. What did Anna used to do with her family? What did her mother tell her? What gift did her mother give her? What two places did Anna used to live? And in what way did this day influence her? So let's listen.
I'm so glad you came camping with me, Anna.
Me too. I had to. It's your childhood campground.
I used to love it here, but I'll always remember the last time.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Well, I was 14. It was my mom, my dad, and me. After dinner on the first night, my mom said she wanted to talk. I was so scared. She never said things like that.
And then what happened?
She took out a box wrapped in beautiful gift paper. She was quiet for a minute, and then she said that she knew that I loved it here in Portland. Finally, she told me that we were moving to Chicago.
How did that make you feel?
I was sad. I didn't want to leave my friends. Then she said this might be the last time we came camping here, so she had a present for me.
What did you do then? Did you open the present?
I did. It was a camera. That's how I started taking photos and how I became a photographer. The rest is history.
Okay. All right. So let's see the first two questions only, okay? And then I will play again. What did Anna used to do with her family? Could you understand that? See if you can answer. If you can't speak, try to write. You can try to say something. If you can't speak, you can write on the message board. So what did Anna used to do with her family? Did you get that? No? What did her mother tell her? Did you get that one? No? So I will play one more time and we will try to get the answers, okay? So listen one more time. Okay, let's do it. Oh, I forgot to mute.
I'm so glad you came camping with me, Anna.
Me too. I had to. It's your childhood campground.
I used to love it here, but I'll always remember the last time.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Well, I was 14. It was my mom, my dad, and me. After dinner on the first night, my mom said she wanted to talk. I was so scared. She never said things like that.
And then what happened?
She took out a box wrapped in beautiful gift paper. She was quiet for a minute, and then she said that she knew that I loved it here in Portland. Finally, she told me that we were moving to Chicago.
How did that make you feel?
I was sad. I didn't want to leave my friends. Then she said this might be the last time we came camping here, so she had a present for me.
What did you do then? Did you open the present?
I did. It was a camera. That's how I started taking photos and how I became a photographer. The rest is history.
That was very special, wasn't it, guys? So, what did Anna used to do with her family? Let's see. Have dinner? Yes. Does everybody agree? Rebecca, do you agree?
Eu consegui fazer uma 3 e eu acho que uma parte da 4.
Sorry?
Eu consegui fazer 3 e uma parte da 4.
Oh, yeah, because I can see that your connection is varying a lot. It's coming and going. It's not very stable. So, yeah, from the sound of your audio, I can tell your connection is not stable. All right, that's okay, Rebequinha. So, I will play now one more time, but with the script, so you can read and listen at the same time, okay? Did you get any of the other questions? What gift did her mother give her?
Camera.
Ah, all right. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. So let's listen again, and this time with the script. Okay? So
I'm so glad you came camping with me, Anna.
Me too. I had to. It's your childhood campground.
I used to love it here, but I'll always remember the last time.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Well, I was 14. It was my mom, my dad, and me. After dinner on the first night, my mom said she wanted to talk. I was so scared. She never said things like that.
And then what happened?
She took out a box wrapped in beautiful gift paper. She was quiet for a minute, and then she said that she knew that I loved it here in Portland. Finally, she told me that we were moving to Chicago.
How did that make you feel?
I was sad. I didn't want to leave my friends. Then she said this might be the last time we came camping here, so she had a present for me.
What did you do then? Did you open the present?
I did. It was a camera. That's how I started taking photos and how I became a photographer. The rest is history.
Teacher, você tá mutada.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. What I was saying is that Sally is talking to her friend Anna, and here in the first question, when they say, what did Anna used to do with her family? Here, it should be Sally, not Anna, okay? So let's cross it out. Here, it's not Sally, it's not Anna, it's Sally, okay? So what did Sally used to do with her family? All the questions here have to do with Sally, not Anna, okay? So there is a mistake here, okay, guys? So this is all about Sally, okay? Anna just listens to the story and asks a few questions, all right? So what did Sally used to do with her family? She used to go camping. Remember, here, look.
I'm so glad you came camping with me, Anna.
Me too. I had to. It's your childhood campground.
So here, when she says, okay, I'm not muted. When she says here, me too, I had to, it's your childhood campground. So this is the place where you used to go camping with your family. Okay, so it's your childhood campground. So not Anna's childhood campground, but Sally's. Okay, and then she says, I used to love it here, but I always remember the last time. Okay, so this is Sally speaking all the time. All right, so the first question is, she used to go camping. Okay, now the second question, what did her mother tell her? Let's see here. Look, when she starts telling what happened, she goes, well, I was 14. It was my mom, my dad, and me. So she describes the scene. After dinner on the first night, my mom said she wanted to talk. I was so scared. She never said things like that. Then Anna goes, and then what happened? She took out a box wrapped in beautiful gift paper. Wrapped is the same as embrulhado, okay? In beautiful gift paper. She was quiet for a minute, and then she said she knew that I loved it here in Portland. Finally, she told me that we were moving to Chicago. Okay? So what did her mother tell her? That they were moving out. They were moving to another city. Okay? So imagine when you are 14, this is very bad because you have a lot of friends, okay? You have your school friends, you have your neighbors. So it's very sad, okay? But something positive came out of it, okay? This experience. So the answer here is her mother told her that they would move to Chicago. What gift did her mother give her? We know it was a camera, okay? So here it was a camera, okay? What two places did Sally used to live Portland and Chicago. Okay, very good. And in what ways or in what way did this day influence her? Because she got a camera from her mother, right? So she took a lot of pictures. And then what happened? She became a photographer. Okay? The rest is history. What's the meaning of this expression? The rest is history. The rest, everybody knows. Everybody knows what happened later, right? How successful I became. So it's not necessary to mention again. And that's it, right? So you see how important it was, okay? Although it was a sad situation, moving to another place, but she changed her life after that, right? She found a career, okay? So let's see here. Here we have the answers. She used to go camping. She told her that they were moving to Chicago. She gave her a camera. She used to live in Portland and Chicago. She started taking photos and became a photographer. Okay, all right. Great, very good. Awesome. So moving here now, they are going to give us a tip on how to tell and respond to a story. What is the best way to do it? What are the elements when we are telling a story? Okay, so look, when you tell a story, start by giving some background information, like where and when it took place. We use adjectives to describe how you felt. Actually, this is something good to do, right? This can help your story come alive. So remember how Sally described her situation, her experience. She said, it was mom, dad, and me. She painted a picture, right? So it's nice for the person who is listening to understand the story and feel the emotion, okay? And then here, look, I was so scared, or it was really funny, or I felt so happy. It's nice when you imprint emotion when you are narrating, okay? If there are several steps, use time expressions. Example, first, then, next. After that, to put the sentence, to put the story in a sequence, okay? To show the structure of the story. Remember to vary your intonation to keep the listener interested. Otherwise, the listener will just fall asleep. It's really important. You have to vary your tone of voice, okay? So intonation is important, and sequence expressions or time expressions is also important, or are also important. So look, she never said things like that. So here you see that you have some pitches, okay? When listening to someone tell a story, you can ask questions to keep the story moving forward. It's also okay to ask questions. Can you please read the examples here, Thais? Yes, please.
What did you do then? How did that make you feel?
Great, thank you. Did you notice, right, the intonation? So pretend you are talking to the person. You go like, oh, what did you do then? Right? So as if you were in the situation. Okay? So it's very important to also ask questions when you are listening to someone tell a story. Okay? So back to the beginning. When you're telling a story, start by giving some background information. Use adjectives to describe how you felt. And if there are several steps, use time expressions. One more. Remember to vary your intonation. So 4 steps, okay? I'm going to make it bigger, and because I want to highlight this, so I will make it bigger for you. Look, and now I will highlight so you can see the 4 steps. First of all, background information. Say what was happening, who was there, okay, the people involved. Then adjectives. Use adjectives to describe how you felt. Okay? Next one, number 3. Use time expressions, especially if there are several steps. And finally, number 4, vary your intonation. Here we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? So 4 steps to tell a good story in a good way. Here we have a tip for the listener. Okay? Actually, to the listener. Let's highlight the tip for the listener here. I will put this in burgundy. The listener should go like this, asking questions, right? To show that you are involved, that you are paying attention, so you can keep the story moving. And then, what did you do? Right? How did that make you feel? Hey guys, so this is basically it. Now, let's move back here. Let's move on to the next step. Take a look here. Listen one more time. How does Sally introduce her story? What adjectives does she use to bring her story alive? So, let's listen one more
I'm
time.
so glad you came camping with me, Anna.
Me too. I had to. It's your childhood campground.
I used to love it here, but I'll always remember the last time.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Well, I was 14. It was my mom, my dad, and me. After dinner on the first night, my mom said she wanted to talk.
Okay, so how does she introduce her story? Look. She says something like the way she feels about that place. She says, I will always remember the last time. So she makes like a statement about that place. She says something special about that place. And then the friend goes curious. Oh, yeah? Why is that? Why do you remember? Why do you always remember the last time? Okay? So before she starts telling the story, she makes a statement about it. And then she sets the scene. She gives the background of the story. She follows all the 4 steps, okay, we discussed. First, she gives the background, okay? And then after that, she discussed, look, she said, she described the scene and she said her mother wanted to talk to her. So she used adjectives to describe how she felt. Look, I was so scared. So this is step number 2. She used adjectives. Then after that, she described how her mother looked. She was quiet for a minute, and then she said she knew that I loved it here in Portland. So she didn't give the news right away. She described all the situation first, and then she used the steps. Okay, look, she said here, after dinner on my first night, or on the first night, my mom said she wanted to talk. So she started by giving a sequence of events. And then her friend was helping her, right? And then what happened? Then she took a box, and then, look, and then she said she knew, So she used not all the sequencing words, but she used after and then, okay? Those sequence words. And also she used finally to mark the final part, okay? The most important piece of her story when her mother gave the news they were about to move, okay? So this is a way to mark your story. And then how did that make you feel? I was sad, again using adjective. And all the time she changed her intonation, okay? She kept it going up and down all the time. So she used all 4 steps, okay, guys? So look, she used everything that was necessary. Okay, guys, it was really good. Now here, they want us to write 2 questions Anna uses to move the story forward. So here we have the questions.
I'm
right?
so glad you came.
Let me just put the questions here. Yeah, why is that? The first one, why is that? Okay, this is Anna asking, and the other one, and then what happened? Okay, another question, okay? Another one, how did that make you feel? Okay. And what did you do then? Did you open the present? Okay, so we have a lot of examples there. Okay. All right, and then finally, listen to the sentences. Mark how Sally varies her voice. So let's listen.
1. I'll always remember the last time. 2. My mom said she wanted to talk. 3. I didn't want to leave my friends. 4. That's how I started taking photos. 5. The rest is history.
You see how she emphasized some parts, okay? So let's check the answers only for you to see how she answered the last part. Here, they just put in bold the words she emphasized. The first one, always, remember, and last. Number 2, mom wanted, talk, didn't, leave, friends, how started, photos, rest, history. And I believe she emphasized the first one here. That's how I started taking photos, because she makes a pause after the word that. So here they missed. You should also mark that's, okay? That's how I started taking photos, okay? All right, people, it's nice to know that we can tell stories using different tones of voice, using different intonation, okay? And here, the final part. Think of an important event in your life. Choose one of the ideas below, or use your own idea. And here, they want us to tell a story. So here, you can write about it if you wish, okay? You can write about your first job interview if you have ever had a job interview, your first day at school, or the first apartment you had, a trip to a special place, the day you met someone special, or when you got something like a disease, a virus, when you got COVID or something. So prepare to tell your story. Follow the outline below and make notes. So to help you write your story, you can introduce your story, remember, by setting the background, then say what happened, describe how you felt, and explain why the story is important, the way Sally did. And finally, practice telling your story, okay? So you can share your story with me after you're done, and then afterwards, if you like it and if you want, we can share the story with the rest of the group, okay? So it's nice. Here, there is a very good way to start. It's an example, okay? I'll never forget my first day at college. I was so scared, or I was so nervous, okay? So on and so forth. So this is nice to practice, okay, guys? So we're done with this page here. And now, as usual, after we finish the unit, we have the review. But I'm going to ask you to do the review for homework. Let me just show you, okay, quickly, so you know what you have to do, okay? So let me take you there. This is the review from Unit 2, okay? So there are some exercises on the grammar, okay? On the vocabulary, I'm sorry. Of course, the lesson is about time. And remember, the beginning of the unit, we talked about changes in places, in cities, for example. So here we have those words: benefit, decrease, recover, replace, reverse. So we should use these words to complete the sentences, talking about changes. The next one is about phrases with time. So we should go back there and see those phrases to complete. After that, we should do the grammar, okay? The grammar, as you know, is simple past of the verb to be and used to. We have 2 points, okay? 2 different topics. So look, here you go, all right? And then here, finally, number 5, you should complete the sentences using the verbs in parentheses in the simple past or past continuous. This was another topic we also saw in this lesson. the difference between one and the other. All right, people. So we will correct this exercise, this page, next class on Monday. Okay? So what did we learn today? Let's see here. This is our page on Google Classroom again. So what did we learn today? We talked about telling a story. I'm going to make it a little bigger so you can see that. Sorry, guys. And let me add it so we can improve this a little bit more. We talked about how to tell a story, but more specifically, a story from our childhood. Okay? Tell a story from our childhood, more specifically, okay? And we also saw the 4 steps on telling a story. Do you remember the 4 steps? First of all, set the background. Let's put the steps here. Set the background. The next one, use adjectives, okay? To show how you feel. The next one, yes, change your intonation, but before that, use time expressions if there is a sequence, right? So use time expressions, like for example, first, then, finally, okay? Show the sequence of events. And finally, vary your intonation. This is very important. So, okay, there you go. Here we have the 4 steps. Set the background, use adjectives, use time expressions to show the sequence of events, and vary your intonation, right? We saw in this lesson how to be more successful when telling what happened, especially when we are talking about the past, about the childhood, about the good old times, right? Or good old days. The homework, online practice, units 2.4 and 2.5. You should also do unit 2 test and page 148. This is the review. Okay, guys, I put here for you. Saving. All right, there you are. Here, there's some extra material for you, and there is a worksheet. And there is also another one here, but it's in a Word format. So this one is more for you to study using your notebook. Okay, because I didn't find anything equivalent in live worksheets. So you can do that on your notebook. Okay, but this one, yes, live worksheets. If I find anything about telling a story, I will post here for you. Okay, guys. So let me take one more picture before we go. Okay, guys. So Rebequinha, Manu, thank you so much for coming. Thais, thank you so much for being here with us. And have a nice weekend. And I hope to see you again on Monday. Manu, don't forget, replace your class, okay? Don't forget. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, teacher. Have a nice week.
Have a nice weekend, guys. Take care. May God protect you, okay?
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.